But what they're talking about in reality is that the state's not going to maintain the secondary roads anymore. They're just not going to do it. And it's going to have to be the responsibility of somebody else, and that responsibility is going to fall to counties. In North Carolina, for a very brief history lesson, the counties used to have roads under their responsibility. In the last depression in the 30s, many counties started to go bankrupt, and needed help, and the deal that they struck with the state was the state paid off the debts, but the state also took over all the roads. So the counties got out of road building. There has been incremental effort to try to get the counties more involved with roads. A couple of years ago, there was a bill, a law that changed that allowed them to participate in certain road projects if they wanted to. They didn't have to anyway. They were allowed to if they wanted to, which was the first time that they were even allowed to participate. These bills go much further. They transfer the roads, the secondary road system, to the counties, and then provide them with a funding source to maintain those roads. Where that funding source comes from and how they're going to actually manage to do that is, I don't know. I don't know if there's enough money. Nowhere in either one of these bills does it specifically say we're going to transfer all the municipal roads that are not maintained by those municipalities back to the municipal jurisdictions, but it's going to probably come one way or the other. It's either going to come through negotiations that the counties have with the cities, with the cities and the state to force municipalities that don't maintain roads to start doing it and get into the POW bill funds, which is where that funds come from, to go to the municipalities for street maintenance, or just like other county services that we're running into, like the animal control, the counties are going to go to the municipalities that don't maintain the roads and say, we're not going to do it for you, or we're going to charge you for it. And there's going to be some sort of bill associated with it. So whether these will make it this year, I don't know. I understand that one of the responsible senators for the Senate Bill 758 is fairly powerful. So it may get a little bit more traction. We still might get passed, but there's a little bit more traction. So this is going to be incremental. If they don't do it this year, they'll probably be back next year with a different idea. But I want you to make you aware of this, because these are obviously very important to us in the next couple of years, what happens here. The other potential situation that's going to occur, even if these don't really get anywhere, is the issue of the fact that the state's not maintaining roads as well as they used to, because they don't have the funds for it. Is that over time, if they don't maintain those roads, eventually the citizens are going to notice, and they're going to want somebody to maintain the road. And when they come to the jurisdiction and say, fix my road, we're going to be faced with the issue of whether we can fix the road or not. And if we go to DOT and they say, well, they're not going to fix it for them, then we're going to be faced with that question. We either do it or we don't. And it's a whole discussion. But I think that's an incremental way that the state may try to get more municipalities maintaining their roads versus the state having to do it. And that's my supposition. It's not based on any reality as far as talking with somebody who told me something. That's just my view of what looks like is coming this way over the next, it could take 10 years before this all fixes itself out. But it's pretty clear the state's in dire issue with transportation long run, and they're going to do things like this to try to shift that responsibility back to municipalities and counties. So that's my presentation.
Any council comment? Okay. Animal control.
As you are aware, Guilford County has notified us of their intent to enforce a contract that we signed in 2000 amongst all the various municipalities that allows the county to charge for animal control and animal services within the town limits of Summerfield. This was a contract that was signed, I believe, by every jurisdiction in the county. Maybe not, maybe Greensboro, I think they have their own control. did enforce this contract in 2002. I don't remember which year it was, but there was a year that they did enforce it on us. And then they put it in abeyance when they changed the distribution of the sales tax. Basically, they treated it as a grant to the town of Summerfield that they would continue to pay for this service through county funds. Now they're stepping back and just like everyone else, they're, in this particular case, they're also looking for funding. So what you have in your package is 2 years worth of data collection regarding where they did enforcement of animal control. And for the town of Summerfield in 2007, we had 289 calls, which made up 1.6% of all calls. And then in 2008, we were at 311 calls, which was 1.87% of all calls. What the contract calls for is a division of the cost of the services based on population, per capita charge for animal control, and a per capita charge for the shelter. However, and this is where I don't have any facts and figures yet, is that the county is responsible for specific animal control issues, specifically rabies cases and vicious dogs. So if a call is a rabies case or a vicious dog case, then the county should pay for that out of county revenue, regardless of where the call comes in any jurisdiction. So that means that some of these cases, at least, should come off those numbers and be a county portion. But what we don't know is how many cases they actually do it and how they count it. If they make a call, someone calls in and says, I think I have a rabies animal, they go out and do an investigation, but they can't find the animal. Is that a rabies call, or is that just a regular call? So there's some questions still in those type of areas. When this came up the last time in the charge for the service, I spoke to Stokesdale earlier today, and they actually went looking around and tried to see what else they could find for service provision. They could only find one company that could do the services necessary, and they talked with Rockingham County, which at that time did not even have an animal shelter. They just had a vet that was accepting, I guess, through contract service, was accepting whatever animals they had. Now, since then, I don't know if Rockingham has built an animal shelter. So I also tried to talk with Oak Ridge, but they wasn't able to talk with them today. This again it's a budget hit. We don't know exactly what the number's going to be. The early numbers that they were talking about was about $50,000 combined services. Works out to be a little over $3 a head for the two services individually. Put it all together, works out to be about 50,000 right in that area. When you back off those other elements, though, it should reduce some, but I don't know how much specifically it will drop off. Now, I don't know where this is going to the county commissioners either, because this came out of the county staff level, manager's office. I don't know what the county commissioners are feeling on this particular issue, and whether there's any chance that this could be discussed with the commissioners directly. Council to commissioner to see if there's any room to renegotiate this or not do it or whatever may be the case. I'll leave that up to you all to discuss.
Well, I need to call Linda Shaw, and she is checking up and going to follow up with us. I just asked her today, told her we were going to have a meeting, and asked her she was going to follow up with a budget meeting. She was at AHI, but I have not heard back from her.
So maybe you could let us know at a special meeting if you hear from her?
I'll be happy to let you know, or let Michael know, and he can send it around. I don't know that there's anything, of course, she can't do anything other than represent us. She's got to